Hey everybody, today we're going to solve the map sum pairs problem on LeetCode. So we're asked to implement a map sum class with an insert and sum method. For the method insert, we'll be given a string and integer. String represents the key, integer represents the value. If the key already exists, then we update the original key value pair with the new one. For the method sum, we're given a prefix, and we need to return the sum of the pairs whose values start with that prefix. So here's what the example looks like. We put apple into the map with a value 3, and then they want to know the sum of all words starting with app, and the output's 3. And then we put the word app into the map with value 2, and then they want to know the sum of all words starting with ap, and that's 5. So anytime you see a problem that's talking about string prefixes, a try should have a little alarm goes off in your head that starts screaming about tries, okay? Try data structure is really good for this. I'm sure there are other ways to do this, but I solved it using a try. So there's a good bit of code. Let's just run through what all this code is. So here's the original class that we're given, map sum. And we're going to keep a map of string to integer, just like a traditional map. It keeps the string value and the integer. The string is the key, the integer is the value. And then we're going to have a try in our data as well as a member. So in our constructor, we just initialize the map and the try. Now, when we're asked to insert a key into this map with a certain value, well, if our map does not contain that key, then we insert into our try the key and the value. Else, if we already have it in our try, then we update the sum with the key, the value, and the old value, and then finally put that value into the map. And then when they ask for the sum, we just return the prefix sum in the try. So let's see what each of these things do. So first, the elements of tries are nodes. Okay, so here's the node class. It has a map character node and an int sum, okay? And this map is essentially its neighbors. So you can think of it as a tree, and if the value in this map is not null, then it has an edge going to this character. The constructor just initializes these things. Now, contains, we check and see if there's an edge to this character from the current node. Get, we just return that node if it is there. And then add neighbor, if it's not there, we basically add an edge to the new character, to the next character. And the try class is what does all the roots. So the try's root is just a node, okay? Now here's the interesting work when we have to insert into this try. Okay, we take a string s and an integer value. So we turn that string into a char array, and we start at the root. And basically what we do is we loop down through the root, through the nodes in this try, okay? And we put that node into our try if it's not there. And the sum value at each node gets updated to be the sum plus that value. So basically the way this try will be constructed, each node will contain the sum of all the words beneath it in the try. So that's what our data structure will look like and how we'll keep track of these sums. So that's how you insert into a try. And then when we need to get the sum, we'll call this prefix sum function, given a prefix. And basically all we have to do is traverse all the way down the try through that prefix, and then return the sum that is stored at that node, because that sum is the value, the sum of the values of all words that start with that prefix. Now, if we have to update, this is where a little bit of a trick comes in. If we have to update a value that's already in the try, we're going to take in its new value and its previous value. And basically what we're going to do is loop through all those nodes in the try, and we will subtract away the old sum, subtract away the old value that we had stored, and then add in the new value. So that keeps our try up to date whenever we insert a value that we've already seen. Alright, so it works. So if you don't know anything about tries, if you don't know how tries work, this is sort of, that's something you're going to need to go learn before you try to work this problem. This is pretty basic try stuff, just with this little hitch of the idea of a sum of each prefix. But again, the idea is we maintain a try data structure, and in each node, we keep the sum of all words that start with that prefix. So when we need to retrieve the sum, all we have to do is traverse down to the end of the prefix, and then we just retrieve the sum from that node.